Hi everyone, Tracy with the Tuesday tips. Today we are going to be covering 3 strategies you can use when you're getting ready to buy your next home. I'm giving everybody a minute or two to get signed on here, and as I'm going over today's quick topics, shoot me up or give me a like or a text or something so I know that you're getting the information and you're finding it useful. All right, so today I'm going to talk about 3 different strategies you can employ when you're getting ready to buy your next home, meaning you have your primary residence and you want to move up or down to that next property. And with a little bit of planning up front, there's some things you can do that can really save you thousands and thousands of dollars. Number 1, when you go for the first strategy, which is talking with a great lender and finding out what you qualify for your next home and how you could possibly do it without selling your current property. Not everybody has the capacity to do this, and some people do. And it's sometimes it's a little easier to find that property and then move on your own time. Maybe you want to buy a fixer and stay in your current home while you fix up that other property. So there's a couple things you can do for buying a property before you sell. One of them is, it's called a bridge loan. Got some great artwork here for you to look at. And a bridge loan allows you to get a interim loan before you sell your original property. And again, this is not for everyone, and for some people this is a great way to go. Perhaps you're looking for a really rare, unique house and you don't want to miss out on it, and you're not ready to sell your first house and just wait for 6 or 8 months. So that's one way you can do it. The other one is you can find out, are you in a position to borrow from your retirement to buy another property, or would it be wise or financially prudent to borrow money out of your current home if you don't have the money saved up to buy that next property? Number 2 is buying your retirement property before you actually retire. Right now, across the United States, popular retirement areas, they're going up in price, they're going up in popularity. And you might not be ready to retire for 3 or 4 years, maybe 5. And you're thinking, gosh, I'd really like to go to, right now, Prescott, Arizona is a really popular place. And that market is actually noticing a lot of appreciation because all this California cash is rolling into the area. So when you get ready to retire, it might not be that good of a deal anymore. So what you can do is you can buy that property and use it for a rental. And when you use it for a rental, someone else is paying that mortgage down for you. So it's kind of cool. You've locked in your price and the interest rate at today's terms, and you've secured your property. Then when you're ready to sell your current property, you can move into that rental property and unwind the potential tax liability that it could potentially have. Because when you own a rental property for any length of time, when you go to sell it, if you don't handle it a certain way, there could be a big tax liability, and I'll explain more about that later. Number 3, this is the one that most people this is another good one that people use, is when you sell your current home, before buying your next home, you can, oh my goodness, I lost my train of thought here. Hang on a minute, I gotta get my trusty notes. We ran out of space. Selling your current home before you find and identify your new home is sometimes a risky move for some people. Not everybody has the capacity to do that strategy. The pluses to that strategy are, you now have your cash off the table and you're not vulnerable in a transaction when you're a contingent buyer, meaning you've got your house in escrow and your buyer, for whatever reason, falls apart. What that does is that jeopardizes the transaction you're in on for your next home. And that can be extremely stressful. So in some cases, people are okay. And again, these are all strategies that you want to look into and explore long before you make the decision to get into the market. But selling your home before and having your cash or closing escrow and maybe doing a rent back for a little bit of time, what that does is that puts you in the strongest position possible negotiating with a seller, because you don't have anything to sell. There's less things that can go wrong. And in some cases, if you're looking for a property where there might be multiple offers, you're the strongest buyer. You might not have to pay as much as someone else because the seller's looking for the strongest deal. So that's another benefit. Next week, I have a special treat for you, and I'd love it if you'd share with your friends. I'm going to have an expert come in. Her name is Dino Champagne with Asset Preservation, and talk to you about the power of a 1031 tax exchange. There's a lot of people out there that have owned rental properties for years and years, and you're getting ready to sell that property. You're tired of being a landlord. One of the things most people are not aware of is when you go to sell a rental property, there is a tax liability to that. And a 1031 tax exchange is one of the few vehicles left where you can save yourself not only tens of thousands of dollars, but in some cases, some people save over $100,000 or more in potential tax liability. And Dino will be here with me in person to explain some of that for you. And if you know somebody that has been talking about selling their rental property, please share this video with them. Let them know we're going to have an expert to answer some of their questions next week. Thanks for tuning in. See you next Tuesday at 4.